And the music, they say, plays a heavy hand.
It does
too.
It really does.
I'll put our actors up on the screen here, so we can all look at the stunning cast of characters. You've got Faye in the middle, and then this is the director on the right.
This is the Grindhouse Podcast. We're coming to get you, Barbara.
Welcome back to the Grindhouse Podcast. I am your host, as always, a cheese film, and joined with me today is my partner in crime, Mr. Hecubus.
I thought I'd get to do the thing.
Want to do it? You brought up a clapperboard. Clapperboard.
Yeah, clapperboard. See,
one of the more popular filmmaking icons.
Yeah, totally.
Which
more than a camera.
It really is more than
it really
a camera.
is.
But it's kind of pertinent to this episode.
I think so. Although they don't ever use one, do they?
No, he just has the camera.
Yeah,
he just is walking around with this camera, which I think is a very bold move, especially if you're going to be filming out into the wild open.
To not use a clapboard.
To not use a clapboard, but also you're not picking up any audio really at all. He's probably shooting just B-roll on an island that has 3 names.
What are the other 2?
Fog Island.
I've never heard it called that. Do they say it in the movie?
They did. Well, so I'll get to where that came from. Skull Island.
That's
and of course,
the good one.
Kong Island.
I've seen that movie poster. You see the one I got?
I did.
Man, that one is so cool.
What's cool about the one you got is on the back of this.
Yeah, that one. I love that.
The back of this Blu-ray has the poster. Oh, that's right there too. Oh, a lot of glare.
Yeah.
You'll notice today that I am behind the curtain, and that is because I'm filling in for Mr. Randy. He is under maintenance.
Yes, he's got to be rewritten.
Yeah, his code's being rewritten.
But this is King Kong from 1933.
The original big monster movie.
Yes.
This one, I believe, comes out before any of the other ones.
Oh, wait. There's like the Lost World, that silent one.
That's true. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the Lost World.
Yeah.
And some of this takes reference from that, too.
Yeah.
I, of course, have the Blu-ray. It's a Warner Archive, Warner collection.
Yeah, I'd like to see the picture quality on that.
It's pretty good.
I'll bet
especially for a movie from 1933.
I watched it on YouTube because I thought it was streaming on Max.
Is it not?
Not anymore.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it is. And that was pretty good.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
That's good.
Probably a little better than VHS.
I'd say this is about DVD quality. This one here, the upscaling.
Yeah.
But Kong himself looked great.
Uh-huh.
Which I was very impressed with because the puppets of these older movies don't usually look good under high-definition cameras.
Right. Then that's another thing I wanted to see.
Or high-definition resolution. And there are some bits of this where he does not look good.
Are you talking about the big giant head?
So the big giant head looks good. Like, image quality looks good.
Uh-huh.
When he moves and stuff like that, you can see the puppet effect.
Right.
Which,
Now, I was noticing, and I had noticed this for the first time I'd seen it too, and every time, like his hair moves a lot. Is that what you think you're talking about, maybe?
Well, so the hair moves a lot, but I just mean that, like, he doesn't move as smooth.
It's not quite as smooth? Wow. Right. Yeah, I'd like to see that. That's funny.
It's not jumpy. It's not, like, terrible.
Right.
It's jumpy, but it's not distractingly so.
Okay.
But, like, I mean, like, the Black Scorpion moved more fluid than King Kong did.
Yeah.
They had...
Listen, there was more.
Decades?
When I was just thinking in the back of my head about the stop motion, and I think we're way wrong. I think there's a lot of stop motion stuff.
Oh,
because, what's his name? The guy that did that stop motion stuff was like inspired by other things and not just the Lost World.
Okay.
So, well, we can check into it.
Well, and I'm not an expert in stop motion film.
Right.
I kind of just know the big popular stuff.
Yeah.
And I even thought Godzilla came before this. I thought Godzilla was
the first
one.
Right.
But no, this came out in the 30s.
Yeah, 20 years.
Even with the Depression, was a smash hit.
Yeah, it was. RKO was bankrupt, on the verge of bankruptcy until this movie came out. Listen, if you want to talk about that real quick,
RKO.
Its initial run, it earned $650,000. Mm-hmm. In today's money, that's $15 million.
Wow!
It saved the whole thing.
Do you know what the budget was?
No, and I was just going to look that up, and I forgot. It was obviously a hit, and it was probably fairly expensive.
Well, and it almost didn't get made
because of the cost.
Well, and because nobody had any money for anything.
Right.
But the first thing that kind of got the ball rolling on it, and the first thing shot was Kong versus the T-Rex.
Yeah.
And that they're like, all right, well, we'll fund this.
Right.
We'll do it.
Anyway, when it was released the second time in 1952, it earned $2,847,000.
In 1952 money?
Which is $34 million in today's money.
Wow.
Yeah, really.
That is impressive.
Yeah, so over 2 runs, it made almost $50 million. That's pretty cool.
And you know what?
It earns. I think it's worth every penny that it earned. This movie is great. It's great.
It is, and it. Oh man, and it holds up fairly well too.
I think so too. Like a lot of the stuff, like there's we're talking right now, and now we're going to go to another scene, so we stop talking, and it kind of fades out like a play, kind of. They're kind of still shot like plays, and that is. I noticed it, but it didn't take me out of it at all. I was still having a good time with it.
I did too. I don't think there's any part of this that I was like I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah,
especially
it's King Kong.
So the DVD, I don't know if your YouTube open like this, but
with an overture.
The overture,
yeah, that was
cool. I'm glad it had, because it kind of sets the feel of the film.
Yeah, it does.
And it also is not something... A lot of movies in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s had overtures. And you don't see them on the DVDs all the time.
No.
They'll cut it out because you don't need it.
I think the first time I saw it was Spartacus, and I was like, oh, that's weird. That was on VHS. That was in the 80s.
Have you seen Jeremiah Jones?
No.
It's a Western movie.
Yeah, with Robert Redford.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But
I heard it's really good.
Too.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, King Kong now has that. What is the word I'm looking for? Like air to it that it's something grand and to be appreciated essentially.
You're talking about this King movie. Kong? Oh, yeah. I thought you meant the new King Kong.
Well, not yet. But this one has. An air of like royalty almost.
Yeah, like you would get dressed up to go see this.
Yes.
And like a play would have probably an overture is
it's just the opening
theater thing,
yeah. Where you play the music and while people are getting their seats, and usually it's a live orchestra.
Yeah.
This one, it was a live orchestra, which is really cool that the person who does the commentary on this was 13, and he raved about that too, how they do that.
There's a 13-year-old that does a commentary?
He wasn't 13 when he did the commentary.
Oh, okay.
He was 13 years old when he saw the movie.
Okay.
And it's
when did he see it? In 1933?
Yeah, he saw it when it came out.
How old is that DVD? The guy's got to be like 100 years old.
The guy, so the commentary came out.
All right, you got commentary stuff here too.
I don't know when, but before the Peter Jackson movie came out.
Okay, right. Films of all time, blah, blah, blah. All right, the Criterion Laserdisc from 1984 has a commentary by Ronald Haver. Is that him?
No.
Okay.
But it's the one person
that was the first commentary for any movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Was for this movie?
For King Kong, yeah.
Wow.
On Laserdisc.
That's cool.
The Criterion, no, that's that one. Then in 2006, the DVD got commentary by Ray Harryhausen.
That's who it is.
It's Ray Harryhausen? You forgot his name?
No, I was building up his name. I kept saying the one person that you wanted to do the commentary for this does the commentary for it. And he's joined with Ken Raslin.
Awesome.
Who's also an effects guy.
That's the one I would want to listen to.
Yeah, and so... remember when I was telling you about the Total Recall one? Where they just kind of were raving about the movie?
Right.
That's what they're doing.
That's cool.
They do have...
Well, those guys were making it, but that's a fanboy.
He was, yeah. And this movie, I believe, is one of the big movies that got Ray into doing this stuff.
Yeah, I read that it was King Kong inspired him to start making his own little movies, and then he had a career.
Well, because he would then go on to do Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
Yeah, right.
And so on and so forth. But it's cool because, like, I mean, he's the grandfather of...
He's the guy.
Stop motion puppetry.
Totally.
So to have him be talking about the godfather of...
And the one that was his inspiration.
Right, yeah. It's literally ideal, and I was very happy with it.
Yeah.
And it's cool that they don't sit there and, like... I was worried that it was going to be more, like, sophisticated and, like, a little dry.
Yeah.
But they do. They just kind of fan out about technique.
That's great.
And how much they love the movie, how it felt when it came out, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Which I very much was happy to hear.
Because I like to hear, like, even the Total Recall stuff when they're just talking about it, and technical things and little anecdotes from them. But also, I would like to hear somebody's, like, basically relating to me.
Yeah.
Because we got the same interest. I think that's cool.
And it really was a good little time to have, because I like King Kong.
Yeah.
You know, I think King Kong's awesome. So to fan out with another two people who like this movie too is pretty fun.
It is cool.
So getting into that.
All right. It was directed by Marion Cooper and Ernest Shoesdeck. They also produced it. Mm-hmm. But one of them, I think it might have been Shoesdeck, had to come in late. Like, Marion Cooper directed all that stop motion stuff.
Yeah.
And the monster stuff like that first. And then Ernest came in and was helped with the live action stuff because him, Fay Wray, and Robert Armstrong were still making The Most Dangerous Game.
Yes.
And The Most Dangerous... I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you know why I think that?
Well, is it because it was shot...
No. It's because it's the Zodiac's favorite movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's where the symbol that he had came from. Uh-huh. Yeah, all that stuff was...
came from...
Yeah, that was his favorite movie. Game. Yeah.
I believe it's The Most Dangerous Game. Was, while they were filming that, it was... here you go, it's 9 a.m., we're filming this. Now it's 2 p.m., go film King Kong. Like, they did it...
Oh, yeah, I think they did have to do a little bit of that.
Back to back.
Yeah.
All day long shooting, which is cool. And a lot of the same sets are used in both movies.
Yeah.
I believe the wall with the big door.
The wall was one of them, yeah.
Which I think is pretty interesting.
I do too. That wall is cool too.
Roger Corman would do stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. He absolutely would. And during the Depression, they're going to have to do stuff like that.
They got no choice. Yeah, you got to save money somewhere.
All right. Edgar Wallace, James Creelman, and Ruth Rose wrote the screenplay. Story by Edgar Wallace and Marion Cooper. And stars Fay Wray. She's the most famous one. I don't know any of these other people, and I don't really care. Only because I heard, Robert Armstrong was in this too. I was like, from King Kong. That's cool. And then music by Max Steiner.
And the music they say plays a heavy hand.
It does
too.
It really does.
I'll put our actors up on the screen here, so we can all look at the stunning cast of characters. You've got Faye in the middle, and then this is the director on the right, and then the captain right on the left.
Oh, no, I think it's the main love interest guy.
But what does he do? He's
like the first mate or something.
Okay. This might be a little bit controversial, but I think Peter Jackson's remake of this movie is a phenomenal remake.
I do too.
And really does.
I would rather watch
everything.
The new one, actually.
The Jackson one?
Yeah.
Or the Kong Skull Island one?
Oh.
Okay,
we're just talking about King Kong. So King Kong, I'd rather watch the Jackson one. Skull Island is a whole different thing.
It's not.
And I love it. It's great.
It's completely different. Almost unrecognizable, but it's one of those where everybody's like, "Oh, don't remake unless you have something new to say."
Yeah.
Well, it does its own thing.
Yeah, 100%.
It introduces a whole bunch of new stuff.
You want to know something that's not new that it got introduced?
What?
You know those weird two-legged things?
Yeah,
they're in
this, aren't they?
They're not in it, but they were. What's that called when they design stuff for their production?
The production design?
Yeah. They had sketches of them.
Yeah.
And that's where they got them from.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Let's put the big guy on screen here. He's fighting a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
I love the old look for these dinosaurs, the outdated look.
Yeah.
You know, with a dragon
for lots of years, too, that was like that, because those are the dinosaur toys I would have.
Yeah.
Looking like that.
And I think, it's either Stegosaurus or it's the T-Rex here, where the tail moves in a very particular way.
The Stegosaurus.
Kind of up and down.
Yeah, when it's dying.
What's his name said to Ray, he's like, "Oh, that looks familiar." And he's like, you're watching why a lot of my stuff moves the way it does.
Yeah.
It's because of this.
Wow.
And it's really crazy to think that, he didn't make this movie. He didn't do the effects because they are that good.
Yeah, he is that good.
Yeah,
he ended up being that good. Yeah. I love that part, too, when after they kill it and then they're walking past it. Mm-hmm. It looks fabulous.
It really
I
does.
was watching that. I think I must have took it for granted most of the time when I was watching it, but this time I was watching it and I'm like, that is really good. And it looks like they're walking right in front of it, and that it's enormous. Mm-hmm. They do a really good job.
A lot of that was shot composites.
100% was a shot composite.
Yeah. There's another one.
And I was noticing, too, when Kong's fighting the T-Rex and Fay Ray's in the thing, there's trees and stuff. There's basically a frame that they're acting in front of, and then the thing could be blank so that they could put the rear projection shit in it. But you wouldn't think that unless you were looking for that. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm going to put this back up here because you just brought up a couple things. The rear projection was basically invented for this movie.
Awesome.
So this commentary will cut out every now and again to play the movie, which is...
I like when that happens, too.
Yeah. It kind of makes it feel like you're watching it with these guys.
Yes, it really does.
It doesn't feel forced, like somebody just has to keep talking throughout the entire duration of the movie.
Exactly.
And I like that. But they also will cut in interviews with, what's his name? Marion Cooper and Fay Ray. So every now and again, they'll stop. Ray and this guy will stop talking. And then something will happen about what they're talking about, and then he'll start talking about it. And it's some interview he had with a room full of people.
Right.
Because you can hear, it's kind of echoey, but you can also kind of hear where other people are laughing or cheering. And he talks about it as if, hey, remember the scene when the dinosaur showed up? But he brings up that the technology and way they filmed a lot of this stuff was basically brand new and invented on the spot for this movie to get it to be made.
I had heard one time somebody was talking about special effects. This is a long time ago. And they were saying that they don't even know how they actually did some of that stuff.
Yeah. Cause
to this day, nobody can either figure it out or they just don't want to be... Well, yeah, they did this, and maybe they're a little wrong, but that's why I was so impressed with that Like they don't know how they did it. And like the tree part, that stuff looks really good.
So, and then I'm going to put up here Kong about to take our damsel in distress, and you can see he's huge, and she's very, small. But then you've got the reverse shot where you've got that wall behind him too.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
They did not let Kong be shown without like trees. Or something in the shot too to give you that perspective of just how big he is, because he's not very big.
He's not big at all,
and I don't think he's ever a man in a costume.
No, like even like the hand and the head shots, they're just gigantic things to make Fay Wray looks, I
gotta put that face on. I'm so glad you got it, because
I like the stop motion guy better than that one. That one looks kind of stupid. But you get to see people in his mouth.
Yeah. And he rips that guy in half and stomps on a whole bunch of people.
And rubs them in the...
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's horrific. I was watching it like thinking back at the time when this came out, and maybe that's why I was so impressed with that Stegosaurus part. But I'm like, this is... Okay. Anyway, it's horrific. So people back then would have never seen anything like that ever, I would imagine. And so this would be a real shocker.
Yeah. So
all right, there it is.
One of these two said that when this movie came out, it had the same exact critical and audience reaction to it that Jurassic Park did when Jurassic Park came out.
Yeah, I bet it did.
And all with the effects, it was a must-see thing. Yeah. You had nobody had any money, and they still went to go see this movie. They had to see it. Yeah. It was a spectacle.
It was a spectacle, and same with Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Which I feel fortunate that I got to be a part of that, like King Kong, because it really was a spectacle. And people, including myself, because I went to the theater to see it, I was gobsmacked by it. It was amazing. Your mother asked me, because I went to see it before her. She was going to take her kids, Patrick and Sarah.
Yeah.
Shout out. If it was any good, if it looked real. I said, it looked like they got him from the zoo. I was so amazed because I went to work immediately afterwards, and she asked me, I was still in shock about, and I know these people were too.
It still holds up.
Like 100% it does.
It still holds up.
The only thing that I think is kind of crappy in it is in the kitchen scene, sometimes you could tell they're CG. Because of the way the tongue moves and stuff like that, I don't like that.
Or how reflective the surface around them is.
Yeah.
They have to be lit a certain way.
Right.
You can tell.
Yeah.
But there's parts of it where they're not CG, like when they first walk through.
Yeah.
And the raptor dips its head down, and you can see a technician in the doorway pushing on the tail to bring the raptor back up.
Oh, I don't know.
Because they were weighted. There's a lot of little things in there. But again, they blend the practical and digital effects so well.
So well.
You're not even looking at stuff like that.
I've never seen that.
I've only seen it when people slow down the footage and like really point it out, because I'm still looking at the raptor there.
Yeah.
It really is amazing.
Yeah, and I'm sure people were screaming about this movie. It's, don't eat for a week and go watch this movie. It's that good.
Yeah, like, man. And we probably had this. I remember
seeing
certain scenes of this growing up.
We had it on DVD. I don't think I ever watched the commentary, but we did have it on DVD.
Do we have it on VHS?
I don't know.
Because I feel like I've seen it before, like on a tape. Because definitely the dinosaurs walking was like, I've always had that in my head. And then rewatching this, I'm like, yeah, this is where it's from. I've seen this before.
Right.
But basically, watching this for the first time is what I did, because I was a child.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of it, and giving it its time in the sun now, I'm coming into it with a fresh mind. I think it is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Okay. In 1991, the Library of Congress put it in the National Film Registry because of that. But Rotten Tomatoes said it's the greatest horror film of all time and the 56th greatest film of all time.
Wow.
And you know what?
Wow.
And that's what I had read that before I watched it. Mm-hmm. And when he's putting people in his mouth and just murdering, straight up gonna kill everything he can get his hands on.
And they look good.
Yeah, they do.
Like
Well, I don't think he would be like, and because there are people screaming in his mouth, but that's for the audience because he would just start eating them.
That's the spectacle.
Yeah,
part of it.
And I told you before, I love that part of the Jackson King Kong where he's got blondes and he's just like throwing them. Gosh, great movie. The movie is so good.
Some girl was supposed to have the part of Faye's character in this.
Yeah.
Dorothy something.
Yeah.
And the director said, no, I want a blonde. Well, Faye's a brunette.
Right.
So he threw a wig on her and gave her the part, which I find to be funny because he didn't say, no, I don't want, he wanted the actress.
Right.
They might have had some relationship too after this. They might have been married or something. But he wanted her for this, like sought her out.
Right.
And in the movie, the director seeks out an actress because the studio people are like, women don't do good in picture. Why do you want her there? And he's like, no, I want her. And he goes out, he finds her, and boom, it's his leading lady, and she's all about it.
She is as iconic too as King Kong.
Oh, yeah.
Because her name is Anne in the movie. But everybody always talks about, and when he takes Fay Ray to the top of the Empire State Building, and it's always Fay Ray. It's always Fay Ray.
Well,
it's
even
never...
now, like I know it's Anne, and I can't think of the character's name because it's Fay Ray. Yeah,
right.
I have it written down too. That's who it is. It's like transcending the character.
Yeah, it is.
She is the character. They point out on the commentary that we have an overture. The overture stops.
Yep.
And there's no music until they get to that island.
Right.
I think that's kind of a cool way to do it. They really exaggerate how suspense works in this.
Yeah.
Because this movie was censored a couple times and chopped up.
Yeah, it was.
And it ruins a lot of stuff, they said. They say it really takes you out of the suspense that you would normally get from just watching it straight.
Yeah. I think all that stuff went back in like the late 70s or something.
A lot of it was
There was this one that came out in the 70s too.
And part of me is curious as to why you would do that. Because
people in the whatever time they started censoring it couldn't handle it, but the people in the 30s could.
Yeah, like what?
What?
Because it wasn't censored in the 30s.
Yeah, it's not censored 50s. Like the way they do it now. Like where it's censored or trigger warnings and all that. It was, they just didn't think it was appropriate. Stupid.
And there was something the director was saying how he wanted Kong to be shown like ripping her clothes off. And then she's like, whoa, like she's asleep first. And then she wakes up and he's just kind of playing with her. And the audiences were all laughing at that scene back in 1930.
Right.
And they censored it through the 50s.
Man, I'm glad I didn't see that part because, like, it looks pretty cool. Is that the?
We got a picture.
Well, I don't remember whether that's Fay Ray or a stop motion person.
Yeah,
but I think it's Fay Ray in his hand. And when he's taking the stuff off, it blends good. That's what I was appreciating by it.
Yeah, and and
I also thought, holy cow, you could see a lot of her in 1933.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny to think about, but a lot of that censorship, a lot of that stuff came into the 50s.
Yeah.
Where they wanted everything to be more family friendly and nuclear. Like there was an American
and not
ideal.
Commie.
Yeah. Yeah. And basically, if you went against it, you didn't have a job anymore.
Yeah,
it would blacklist a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Which sucks because what could we have gotten is the question.
Oh, yeah. But, the censoring of this movie is just stupid.
Yeah, I don't agree with censoring a lot of things.
I don't agree with censorship at all because you don't have to go watch it. But here's the thing. Cooper had a friend that traveled around and did animal stuff. His name was Douglas Burden. And he wanted to make a movie about that guy and gorillas. And he made gorilla movies and stuff.
Yes.
But also, I think it was Cooper that made this movie that, man, you could not... We'll never do an episode on it. It's called Igandi or something like that. Man, oh man, does it... Just the description, it sounds like offensive. Only offensive.
Just to be offensive?
No, not... They're doing it for real and thinking they're doing something good. But it sounds like if you used real slaves in your movie about slavery and stuff.
Oh, my God.
It sounds just the worst. Now I got to see it to see how bad it is.
How bad it is, yeah.
But thank God this movie's not like that.
I think that might have been one of the original ideas for this movie.
Yeah, well, when I was reading about that movie, that's how it came up. It was kind of like that. But this Skull Island is supposed to be is like South Pacific.
Yeah.
And the guy mentions, I thought this was cool. He mentions, he says Anchor. He's talking about Angkor Wat, which is a place that it has these octagonal things, like buildings made out of giant, heavy stone that's octagonal. It's all octagonal stuff. Weird. It's really weird. Nobody knows to this day what it was, who made it, anything like that. And he mentions that in that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
About the wall.
Ray, later on in his life, went to the island that this island is based on.
Oh, really?
And he said they had a pamphlet. The people on the island were cannibals up until yesterday. So he stayed on his boat.
Yeah.
And he said, there's a part of me that was disappointed I didn't get to see a giant ape.
Oh, sure.
But,
there's a part of me that's happy I didn't get eaten.
For real, yeah. And I was thinking about this, too, because the tribal people in this movie today...
They look African. That's what my point was. Was why it was. There should be Southeast Asian people.
Yeah, and they look like they're off the coast of Africa, but they also look like they're off the coast of Africa. Like it's not. I don't think it's any kind of offensive looking stuff. It looks exactly like the
it does.
Zimbabwe tribes or the Zulu tribes, how they would look.
Yeah.
Even up with the paints on their faces and stuff.
Everything.
Like that. None of it is caricaturish.
Right.
None of it's like
which they were prone to do back then.
Insanely.
And I don't think so either. Yeah. Then these people they have their own civilization, but they're not advanced like us. Advanced.
No. And they
they're not looked down upon really either.
And they're not just straight up like, well, we're gonna kill these guys now.
Yeah,
right. Like they end up kidnapping.
Yeah,
but
the golden. They call her golden something. Anyway, the sacrifice.
Yeah, they're not like any kind of what could have easily been just an offensive stereotype.
Yeah, right. Like
it really does feel like they've discovered, like in the Jackson one, like they just discovered an unknown tribe who happens to worship a giant gorilla.
You happen to mention that he went to an island. I wonder if it's this island, because no one is allowed to go to this island to this day. These people that live there are from, like, they're not any kind of 20th century, 21st century, nothing. And if you go there on a boat, they'll kill you. They'll just straight up kill you. They might not eat you. They might eat you. But some people have gone there and they're immediately killed. As soon as they know they're there, they kill them. So everybody's like, you know what? Leave them alone.
A lot of people don't mess
Let them
with
do
that.
their thing.
It's our territory. It's our land. Like, people, like, man is an animal, and they're a very, very defensive, protective animal.
But some people speculate that somebody went there and had a disease that they weren't accustomed to, and it killed a bunch of people. So now it's a superstition, and they see you die.
There's I don't know where it is, but there's this guy who flew a drone over one of those untouched by society tribes, and they threw a javelin up at the drum. Killed it. But like you can see the footage, and the last thing the thing sees is the guy's hand.
That is cool. That's awesome.
And I mean, like they're all gathered around it, but it's not like they're scared. It's like they're
defending themselves. Yeah.
But humanity is so wild, man. Like it's crazy.
But you were talking about how they look like natives, but not caricature natives, and the language they're speaking is no language. It's all basically gibberish. Mm-hmm. That they put time and effort in, hired a guy to make up that language. It was like a mixture of 2 or 3 different ones. I thought that was kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. I'm gonna put up. You got a picture of one of the guys who is from the colony there, just to kind of show what he looks like. Because again, like you see this, and in anything made from this time, or even up honestly until like the 2000s, would have had these people being like, all you hear the drums and the unga bunga talk and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And it's. And I want to touch. We're gonna do a kind of follow up to this in next week's episode with Godzilla and Kong, and they have a tribe in there too that I kind of feel like is a little bit more on the look how silly they are.
Yeah, but it totally is.
Just in comparison, like it's like night and day.
Yeah, it is. And we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Just kind of to give this movie a little bit more props.
Yeah, like it needs any. But it can have all the props timeless. It can get. What's that?
It's really timeless.
It really is timeless. Like you mentioned something earlier, made me think of when he's climbing up the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
And
what a good looking.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm going to put that on screen too.
And all that when he's climbing any of those buildings and grabbing the women out of them. And this looks great.
If they really, it's supposed to be a scary, shocking face,
and I could see that too.
But if they didn't do it so much, I think it would be more effective.
I think so too.
Because he looks great from afar.
Yeah,
he looks silly up with your close shots,
and he looks kind of like maybe they gave him meth or something. But those shots where you can see him in the window, and his eyes are looking around for the person, then he puts his arm in it. I think they look great, but he does look maniacal in them. And it gets a little silly.
And another thing is, like, I'm very kind of blown away that it's not a guy in a suit. Like, I don't know why they didn't do that, but it's not.
Because it looks better.
It does look better. It just, period, looks better.
Yeah. It takes more time. And that's what makes it better, I guess, because a guy in a suit you could get done in an afternoon. This it's
a work of art.
5 seconds took 2 weeks.
You also when I cannot remember this guy's name. Marion, he had the idea. He had some drawings that you have brought up. Some of them being King Kong himself. Some of them are the weird creatures on this island.
Yeah.
And they had a treatment. He had a 20-page treatment for it. He didn't have a script yet.
Yes, right.
And a lot of this was written on the set.
On the set.
But he had one line of dialogue that he had written, and he carried it throughout the entire thing while they were doing this whole production, and it made it into the film. Do you know which line it is?
No.
It's the last line.
Oh.
It wasn't the airplanes that killed them. Right. It was Beauty that killed the Beast. That was the line that he was like, this has got to be in it. And it is one of the absolute most iconic lines in all of cinema.
I'll make him offer they can't refuse.
For real. Like
I am your father. It is that good.
There it is.
Play it again, Sam. Although they never say that in that movie.
Well, you played it for her, Sam. You're going to play it for me. Let's stop recording on me. I hate when that happens. All right. So we haven't really gotten talking about the nitty-gritties here. So let's see what I have on my notes.
I was going to talk about.
Huh?
I was just looking. I was going to mention something while you were telling that story about the line. Oh, yeah. There was one part that was in the script or whatever they were going to. It didn't ever get filmed, I don't think. Oh, no, part of it did get filmed. Because there's a version, you could see it, where they go into an area that's full of giant bugs.
Uh-huh.
And that's why it's in the Jackson one, the Peter Jackson ones, because that's just so cool. And that part is horrific. That Peter Jackson one. It probably wouldn't be as scary in the 1933 King Kong, but man, is it disgusting in the new one. And Peter Jackson said he made a point to have that scene in there just to make sure, because he wanted to see it when he was a kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? But man,
that's one of my favorite scenes.
what scene? Oh, in the Jackson one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is when they go down to that bug pit.
Oh, God. Then when that guy goes on his head.
Oh.
I think that's stop motion guy. Or, I mean, motion capture guy.
That is the motion capture guy.
What the heck's his name?
It's Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis, yeah. When that thing goes on his head, oh, man.
Because they're over there, they're getting his buddy.
Yeah.
And he don't want him to get his buddy. Whew, man, that's the part that sticks to me the most, too.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's quiet.
And this part, yeah, it is. And you just hear clicky giant bug sounds.
And he's like, "Ugh," and then, it's like my skin crawls.
Mine
man.
too.
Like, it's cool seeing the giant grasshoppers at the restaurant.
Yeah, right.
Or then he's climbing up the wall there, and like a huge claw will come out and pull him in. But man, those worms, they're gross.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That part.
I kind of want to know how they would have done it in this. You know,
well,
like,
it probably wouldn't have been that.
have
It just would have been big spider-looking things.
Yeah, kind of just stomping around.
Yeah.
Probably.
But that in the part where King Kong has her up in his little area, and she's running this way, and he flicks her.
Yeah.
And he's just like playing with her and stuff. Yeah, I think that's cool.
I like how they kind of grow to respect each other in the Jackson one.
Yeah, I was good thinking that, and I was thinking of it when I was watching this. Fay Ray Ann has PTSD, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, after she gets out of there, she doesn't want to go back, and she doesn't really want to be in the room with them, a big ape. But in the Jackson one, yeah, they totally get a relationship, and she doesn't want him to get killed. And it's like really sad at the end.
I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it's like Stockholm-y.
Yeah,
but I think it's more of like he's just a big monkey. He's like a giant kid.
Yeah, right.
Like you connected in that primal kind of way that he's just a monkey.
Yeah, it's really Beauty and the Beast.
Right. They play more into it being like a tragedy than it being just a big monster. Because he's also, I mean, obviously you have decades of advancements, but and he still holds up.
What, the new one or the old one?
Not the new one anymore, but the
new King Kong. You don't think stands up?
Well, he's not the new King Kong anymore. We got a new Kong.
Oh, you're right.
Like when you say it, like it's a new King Kong. He looks like a monkey.
Yeah,
he doesn't look like it. Looks like a photorealistic actor ape.
Yeah,
like that's how crazy it is. The mocap, ironically, done by Andy Serkis,
of course,
who has a actual part in this too. But like you can connect with it more. Even the audience can. You can connect with King Kong on just a whole bunch of different levels.
Yeah,
I feel like, which you don't need it. Like it's just a monkey. Like you're not. I don't not view this King Kong as an ape, and I do view that one as an ape.
Right.
But I mean, the face alone helps make Kong feel like a character.
Yeah, it really does.
And I wonder what Ray Harryhausen would have to say about Peter Jackson's King Kong. I don't know if he died before it came out or what, but in this, he's like, I'm not against computers.
Right.
I think computers are a tool. I don't think we should be using them as reliant as our wits, right?
And he's right about that too.
Yeah, I do. And like, so there's a part of me that grew up in the 2000s where everything was digital, where I was like, yeah, it's just what it is. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't take away from a practical effect. It's a digital effect. It's just a different thing. But watching so many older movies now where it was the option was you're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah. Or it's not in it.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's
figure it out or forget it. There's your two options.
I think it really works.
Yeah.
And I think it works better in a lot of cases. And
a lot of cases it does.
It's because we've gotten to a point where a video game and a movie are almost on the same line.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't think a lot of digital effects look as good now today as they did even in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
I
we
think
have more money, more experience, more talent.
Right.
Why does Davy Jones look so good?
Yeah.
Why does Iron Man and the first Iron Man look better than anything they have been going on now?
Yeah.
Somebody also, I kind of wish I watched this video, compared MODOK in the Ant-Man movies and why he looks like that. Right. And then, like, Star Wars. Like, it's the same company.
Yeah.
Why does Star Wars, like the new Star Wars movies, why do they look better than this stuff Marvel's doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. And I kind of... Just go back to this.
Yeah, seriously. And they were going, like, the remake of The Thing. Those guys did great practical effects. Yeah, and they covered them up with digital stuff.
Talk about a tragedy, man.
For somebody's ego. It had to be some executives like, well, no, we're going to do digital. And they're like, but look at this.
It looks so good.
Everybody does digital. But you know what I mean? Somebody just stupid, doesn't know what they're talking about, and has the power to make it happen.
You're wasting money at that point. Like, you're honestly, you're wasting money.
Throwing it away.
Because, did you see any of the practical effects for that movie?
Yeah.
Because I think
they look better.
Bonus feature on there where you can actually see a lot of it working. Because they were working off of what John Carpenter did before.
Exactly.
So they, brought their A game, and they just muddy it all up.
Yeah.
And I don't see the potential. I'm not going to see a Thing movie because it's got digital effects in it.
Right.
I'm not going to see a movie because it has digital effects in it.
No.
Like, that's not the seller for me.
Right. It's not the seller for anybody, and that's what these people don't understand. I want to go see a good movie, and the more believable it is, the better it is. That's all.
End of the day.
That's it.
And I could suspend my disbelief for a lot of things for a long amount of time. I love
Yoda's a puppet.
Yes.
I can't see Yoda as anything but a living thing.
I can't see Kermit the Frog as anything but a living thing. That's a guy's hand in a sock. But you sell the illusion.
Right.
I bought into it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is now. So there's a part of me that, like, loves things like Attack of the Clones.
Sure.
I think it looks great.
Every clone's a digital guy.
Not one of them.
Sebulba
is a completely digital
guy. The other guy, which we won't mention because everybody hates him so much, still looks good.
Are you talking about Jar Jar?
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, he's got he's getting love now.
Oh, that's good.
And
he deserves it.
Ahmed Best, who was the actor, got a lot of...
Yeah, he did.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why.
I don't either. And so did Jake Lloyd, who played Anakin.
Come on.
Give me a break. These are... Oh, I hate that. If you hate their acting that bad, attack George. Because he's the guy who directed them.
Or just don't watch it, man. How about that?
Because I'm not saying attack the person, but don't
attack George.
Drive a kid to want to kill himself.
God.
And there's a part of me that doesn't forgive Simon Pegg for hating these movies because he was one of those guys.
Really? He was?
Who was the prequels are terrible. They've ruined Star Wars.
Oh, I didn't know
They had a documentary against George Lucas. It was The People versus George Lucas, I think it was. They just attacked him. And they try to get Mark Hamill to say stuff about how bad George Lucas was. And he caught on to it. He's like, well, hang on there. I don't think George is a bad guy. But, like,
really, man, I'm really let down.
These people, because, like, Disney's given Ahmed Best a second chance. They gave him a Jedi character who was the person who saved Baby Yoda. It's not anything, but it means something because of the crap that he had to go through for a character
unwarranted
who was a kid's character.
Yeah.
If you didn't like it, then don't watch it.
And I don't know. I never did not like those movies. All three of them I think are great. I love them. That's what I was going to say. Did you see those ads for that Monopoly game? Because you can have Monopoly Go. It's an app, and they have a Star Wars version of it. So like Hayden Christensen was in it. And this girl's like, you will do this. And he's like, I'm not doing that. You will do this. So then he leaves, and you guys used to do this too. There's an automatic door. He goes like that.
See, I love that. I really love that.
Let's just say, too, Episode 3, a 20-year-old movie, was the number 2 movie.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
So it was number 1 then. It is number 2 now.
Oh, man.
So suck it, Simon Pegg. Who I really like.
I do. I like the man. He's in A New Hope. Not A New Hope. A New Hope Part 2, The Force Awakens. He plays the Ungar Pluck.
Oh, yeah.
Ray's...
talk about... Come on, man.
And, like, I understand that if you grew up with the original trilogy, you loved it, it was your thing, that's awesome to hold on to. George Lucas did not write or direct 5 and 6.
Right.
He was a producer on them. He had a lot of say.
And, like, the story.
Yeah, well, he had the roadmap that people went off of.
Yeah.
But a lot of George Lucas, that George Lucas has all the say in, are episodes 1 to 4, and the Clone Wars is first 2 to 3 seasons.
Yeah.
If you don't like episodes 1 to 4, then you probably didn't like George Lucas's vision.
Yeah, really.
Because that was George Lucas's vision, and if you don't like the majority of them, then you're not really into it.
Yeah.
And it really
I think
sucks.
a lot of it, though, was... it was like 30 years later. Mm-hmm. And people like me have watched Star hundreds, literally, of times.
Yeah.
Had hours-long conversations, make friends over this stuff. You know what I mean? It's a big part of your life. Mm-hmm. Now I have an idea of what this is going to be. And if you don't do that, I'm disappointed. Because there's nothing wrong with any of that. Like, people talk about, why are we talking about Star Wars in this King Kong movie thing? About the there's they're talking about like the Senate and stuff like that, and there's all these meetings. Well, I want to watch a movie about meetings. Well, there's a bunch of meetings in episode 4 too, asshole. Yeah, so just shut up. There's
a lot of movies where all it is
12 Angry
meetings. Men. I was just about to bring that up. That's it. All of 12 Angry Men happens inside one room where they talk about something we didn't see.
In an afternoon.
That's the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it is, again, touted as one of the greatest movies ever made.
I love it. It's great.
I think it's... I agree. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. And I love when people spoof on it because it puts you in a box and sees how creative you can be.
Yeah.
Because it's good. It's good. It's so good.
It is. And so is King Kong.
But you know who
the 1933 King Kong is great.
Loved King Kong?
Everybody?
George Lucas.
Oh, really? Wow. Weird.
Just to kind of cap that off, the reason why I know George Lucas liked it is because in the Clone Wars, he has a Zillo Beast, which is basically a kaiju. It's a giant dragon Godzilla kind of thing, which is indicative to these movies.
Yeah.
It's also an early American movie, and he was all about those too.
Sure.
He is a movie lover. He is an artist before he is a filmmaker, he's an artist before he is anything.
Yeah.
He left the Directors Guild.
Yeah.
Kind of guy. Like it wasn't about the prestige. It was about
making the stuff.
Yes. Which is why Steven Spielberg is so good, because they're best friends.
Exactly.
And they work off each other really well.
Yeah, they do.
Who I would love to see make a movie like this. I would love to see Steven Spielberg make a King Kong type movie. Huh. Not a King Kong remake, but just that type of movie.
Uh-huh.
I think he could, because it has a lot of whimsy and adventure to it too.
It has a ton of, it's all adventure and whimsy just about.
I don't think this is a horror movie. Like Godzilla, I don't think it's a horror movie. I think it's just like
I never thought it was a horror movie either.
A good
adventure movie. But now after watching them step on the people and eat them, and I can see why the people back then...
You've got to go to that mindset. Because what was a horror movie in the 30s? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Dracula.
Exactly. Like, you had Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like, that's this, you know? And, like, compared to nowadays, even Frankenstein and Dracula, they're not as horror-y as what we have now.
No, you know? They're dramas that are good.
Yeah, they're just...
got a monster in them.
Exactly. They're just... Yeah, exactly. But I took so many notes on what they were saying, and they did kind of what we were doing. They just kind of raved about it. They were just like, "This is just so impressive." Let's see if I have any highlights. The director said that the TV cut of this movie ruined it, and he hates it, and that when they re-edited the movie to put all the stuff they took out back into it, when it's good. And, I mean, obviously, a guy whose movie was completely tampered with is going to think that the...
Yeah, they ruined it. Yeah. My movie.
I think that's really all the other highlights I had.
But that's an interesting commentary. And I would like to watch it with that on there, because those... interview parts you're talking about, that sounds cool too.
They said when Faye is on the boat with the director, and he's rolling a picture, and she's in her dress, they said that's the last time she's going to look good, because from that moment on, it's all a downhill slope until she's swimming in the water. And I was like, he's like, obviously when she's in the water. And I was like, oh, okay,
what does that mean?
Good? She's got, her clothes are all ripped up. And you can almost see her boobs. Oh, you perverts. Two old guys in a room. Get out of here. The Skull Island also was a matte painting. Obviously, we all knew that, saw that coming. But I opened this podcast saying that it was Fog Island, Skull Island, and Cog Island.
Yeah.
Ray Harryhausen, for some reason, changed the name of this island every single time he brought it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know why.
That's awesome.
I thought initially that he did it because somewhere along the lines, oh, well, this is Fog Island. No, this is the other island. This is Skull Island, you know? But no, he just, Fog happened to be on the screen at the time, so he just called it Fog Island. But overall, man, I really, really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, me too. Watching it again.
We've watched Godzilla, the Black Scorpion, and King Kong. Have we got any other giant monster movies that we watched?
Oh, what was it? Journey to the Center of the Earth? The Land That Time Forgot.
On the podcast, though.
Yeah.
We haven't done that one.
Yeah, we have. With that submarine and the...
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah.
And then you said Land That Time Forgot, and I went right to the Will Ferrell movie, and I was like, we didn't do that.
Land of the Lost is good.
I think this and the Black Scorpion are probably 1 and 2. Then Godzilla.
Yeah, it could be.
And probably because Godzilla, I don't even feel like it's a giant monster movie. I think it's a really dark drama about
it is way more like that. Yeah.
Like Godzilla is clearly a metaphor, but like it could have been anything.
Yeah, it could have been
a cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
Like that's how poignant that story is. It's just the creature could literally be anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that.
The way everybody talks, like how they had just come out of a war is really, I don't know, you really get the sense of that.
You do.
Because it really is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all that stuff is great. Like sometimes Godzilla in that first one looks pretty good. Sometimes he doesn't look so good. And it's cool watching him. But that's like one of the few that until modern times, the people are interesting at all.
Yeah. And you know what's kind of funny about this too? The people in this are more interesting to me.
Yeah.
Than the people in any other giant monster movies.
Yeah, they are pretty interesting.
King Kong, for some reason, the people are really the good driving forces of the movie.
Yeah, I don't agree with you. That's the only because, one thing, what's his name? The director guy, character.
Jack?
Is it Jack? Jack Black plays him in the newer one. Uh-huh. He's way more sleazy in the new one. And I had forgot. I just expected to see that in this, and he was just a regular, pretty cool guy. But like the first Pacific Rim, those characters are really good, and you follow mostly them and new King Kong.
That's
but
Guillermo
like all
del
those,
Toro, right?
Yeah, it is
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, all these new Godzilla movies, they're pretty good. Back in the day, forget about it. It's filler. All the people.
Yeah.
Filler and fodder.
Filler and fodder. Kill them all.
That's my
Get
first
them all
band.
out of there. I don't really have anything else to say about King Kong. You got...
Just definitely check it out.
Definitely check it out.
You know all about King Kong because he goes to the top of the Empire State Building.
There's no spoilers.
But watch it. Yeah. You if you've never seen King Kong and you think you know what you're talking about,
experience.
Yeah, you need to.
Experience what was one of the greatest
monster?
No, greatest
spectacles
of all time.
Yeah. It is the eighth wonder of the world.
Yeah, he's the eighth wonder of the world. The movie really sells it hard, and yeah, I mean, like it's that good.
It is that good.
That good.
It stands the test of time.
Got this on Amazon, right? Got this on Amazon. Went to McKay's after it was delivered.
Oh no,
because I couldn't find it there for so long. There it was.
Yeah.
And it was the digibook that has like the essay book on.
Oh man.
Like, if I didn't just spend money on this, I would have got it. But I have been Cheese Film.
And I am Hecubus.
Are you Hecubus? Is this Hecubus? And this has been the Grindhouse Podcast. Check it out.